Welcome to the show on a Wednesday, folks. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube.
We'll do it live.
And whatnot.
We'll do it live!
Yes, we will.
You know you one crazy motherfucking wop, man.
Who asked you, bitch?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
How are you, folks? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you what's going on. The Red Sox are 1 in like 4 or 5. P-fucking-U. Make a bet right now they still win the division. Since when do the Oakland A's have a fucking pitching staff? They've thrown like 96 shutout innings. And I don't like them being on the road opening 5 games. Who came up with that? They're world champions. They should be rewarded. You dinkweed. I don't even know who the commissioner is. Anyways, let's get right to it. You know Uncle Joe? Uncle Joe, he was the one that was afraid to cut the cake. Yeah, actually, Joe's just the opposite. Cutting the cake, being afraid to cut the cake is like a reference in a Bob Seger song to Uncle Joe being gay. It means he never got married. At least that's how I interpret it. Maybe I'm just a homophobe. Or maybe I'm a fucking genius. But I think that's what it means because they said Uncle Joe's run off to Fire Lake, which is the lake of fire in the Bible. If you're gay, you go right in the toilet and you burn up. Anyways, what's he up to? And I might surprise you with my point of view on this today. I think the feminists have lost their fucking minds, what little ones they have. Vice President Joe Biden Jr. during a campaign stop in Seaman. Oh, my God. Is the world just too weird? How many times has this happened on the show? It's like the OG, it's like a Rodney King thing where the cop's name was Coons. I mean, seriously, it's a fucking weird world. Anyways, a campaign stop in Seaman, Ohio in 2012. The accusations against Mr. Biden feed into a narrative that he is a relic of the past. I don't totally agree with that.
P-I-G pig.
Here's what sort of swayed my mind. I'm watching all these pictures and all this footage. It's obviously a campaign to pull the old crusty white man down because the left has a wet dream about fucking black lesbians running the planet, and it's coming true in Chicago. I'll get to that in a few minutes. But I looked at some of the people he's kissed and hugged and sniffed their hair, and there's some fucking old, ugly women. There's guys. So I really don't believe it's sexual in nature. And once again, the feminists are taking their pussies way too seriously. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, life's uncomfortable. Anyways, but they say his tactile style, that means touchy, of retail politicking is no longer a laughing matter in the era of #MeToo, which is just what feminism does. It takes the humor out of everything. If you let them set the agenda, you know what life would be like? Waiting in line at the DMV. Everybody's cold and quiet and impersonal. That's what they want. That's the fucking world that they want because they weren't very attractive when they were younger and they didn't get the touch and the feel from the fellas. And they want everybody else to experience that. How's that for a theory? I think you should enjoy that.
You know you one crazy motherfucking wop.
Bullshit. It's right on the money. Two more women came out, according to the New York Times, that the former vice president's touches made them uncomfortable. What fucking touches don't make you?
Yeah.
I just looked at you.
This is rape.
It's the food court. It's the food court. I just made eye contact. What do you say? So far, women complaining about him have not claimed sexual harassment or assault. Okay, then shut up. How about that? Then shut up. It wasn't sexual assault, so shut it. Or harassment. So what was it? It was an accident, unwanted. He's from a touchy-feely era. I'm defending Joe Biden right now because I've fucking had enough of this. But you know, it's both the right and the left. The Bernie Sanders of the world. You don't think they have something to do with this? Because Biden was leading in the polls last week. They're going to take him down. But if he's a crusty old white guy, what the fuck is Bernie Sanders? A crusty old Jew. Can I say that? I don't mean that in a defamatory way. But let's not forget what happened at his campaign last year. A lot of girls had their asses touched and were made uncomfortable because somebody looked at them for more than 3 seconds. I used to get accused of it on the subway when I took the subway in New York City. I'd Just be staring off into space, reading a poster behind a girl, and then be like, what the fuck are you looking at? I don't know, your bikini? It's 11 degrees out, and your bikini on the N train. I don't know. Anyways, other women have stepped forward to say Mr. Biden's touches were welcome. I don't think it's disqualifying, said the leathery-nippled Nancy Pelosi. Of course, because he's on your team. Gloria Steinem, the feminist icon who railed against men, she helped start this whole movement. By the way, railed against men and marriage. And what did she do a few years ago? Married a very rich guy. So shut your fucking hole. She said, just ask before hugging. That's not too awkward. May I hug you? That's the world that feminists created. May I hug? Fuck that. It takes the spontaneity out of life. Sneak up from behind, get him a chokehold like it's the third round of a UFC fight. Make him tap out. I don't give a rat's ass. But I think Biden is just a touchy. Again, he's from that generation. You know? Yes, some of it's awkward. The hair sniffing. I don't know. But you got women defending him, women saying he's full of shit. I don't know what to believe. As if on cue, Mr. President Trump went after Biden at a fundraiser in Washington on Tuesday, cracking a joke about asking for a kiss. Mr. Trump said, I felt like Joe Biden. Can I give you a little advice, Mr. Trump, Mr. President? You can't say shit like that when we have you on videotape saying you like to grab women's pussies when you were, which back in the, New York City back in the 80s, everybody was on coke and fucked up. Everybody's grabbing everybody. But you can't be throwing it in Biden's face when you're bragging how when you're rich and famous, you can fucking zing-zangler him. You know what I'm saying? So take it down a notch. Let him hang himself. Let them. This is the Democrats have created this bar when it comes to race and gender. It's an unrealistic standard that they can't even meet. So that's why they're eating each other. That's a great point. Okay, I said it first, but they've created this bar that's unnatural. I love when you know how many times after a live show, I do a comedy show, and I take pictures with people, and a woman puts her hand on the small of my back and then slides it down as she walks away. Not enough is the answer. No, it happens all the fucking time. But here's the difference. Men like, I don't care if it's a 58-year-old woman. Oh, she thought I was attractive. I need that kind of love. Men need that kind of love. We don't get Googled. We don't get fucking ogled at on the Googled. We don't get Googled at on the bus. We don't get ogled at. And, anyways. For Democrats, this says the New York Times, that is problematic. It opens the door for a discussion about whether Biden can actually credibly take on Trump on a series of issues that the Democrat Party is seen as quite strong on. So, they're always strong on women's rights. He's done enough shit for women's rights, the act of, Violence Against Women Act that he passed. He's done enough, but that none of that means anything. And again, I realize I'm defending Biden. You know why? Because I don't think he's a threat. There's too many people of color and too many young chicks in Washington now, so he'll be cut down at the knees. But, the list of women coming forward is growing. Caitlin Caruso, a former college student and sexual assault survivor. Is there a woman who's gone to college in the last 2 years that wasn't a sexual assault survivor? Can I just say that? Nick, that's insensitive. I don't give a rat's tit. Said Mr. Biden rested his hand on her thigh. Ay, ay, ay. Do we know she's telling the truth? Christine Blasey Ford made up a bunch of fucking lies because she was a left-wing douche. I'm guessing this girl said if he put his hand on her thigh, yeah, that now I'm it's one thing, shoulder, fucking ears, sniffing their eyebrows. That I understand, but hand on her thigh. Even as she squirmed in her seat to show her discomfort and hugged her just a little bit too long. Well, can you tell me exactly how long is too long? Where's the cutoff there? Is it a nanosecond? Do I press? If your tits press against my tits, is that too? I want to know the exact amount of time I'm supposed to hug somebody where the cutoff becomes it's inappropriate. Again, when they tap out is where I draw the line. He hugged her a little too long at an event. This is kind of on sexual assault at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. She was 19 years old. Really? You put your hand on a 19-year-old girl at a sexual assault fucking convention? Come on, Joey. I'm trying to help you here, but I can't even defend that one. You notice there's no tapes or videotapes of people saying this shit about Ms. Caruso, now 22, said she chalked up the encounter at the time to how men act and did not say anything publicly. But she said it was particularly uncomfortable because she had just shared her own story of sexual assault and had expected Mr. Biden, an architect of the 1994 Violence Against Women Act, to understand the importance of physical boundaries. D.H. Hill, who sounds like a fullback for the Cowboys in the 70s, 59-year-old, a writer who recalled meeting Mr. Biden in 2012 at a fundraiser in Minneapolis, said that when she and her husband, Robert, stepped up to take their photograph with the vice president, he put his hand on her shoulder and then started dropping it down her back, which made her very, very uncomfortable. How dare you, Joe?
You smug cocksucker. Fuck you.
Oh, that's not reason. Her husband, listen to this. Her husband, seeing the movement, put his hand on Mr. Biden's shoulder and interrupted with a joke. We have the audio of the joke. I don't think it was actually appropriate.
What did the blind man say when he passed the fish market? I don't know. Good morning, ladies.
I mean, really? You going to tell that at a sexual assault? This is the funniest show ever. Erin Bilbray, a former Democrat congressional candidate from Nevada, also came to Mr. Biden's defense. During a meet and greet, she said he banged me from behind for 8 minutes in the coffee room. I had no problem. No, she said in a private room with her family before an event in 2014, she said, Mr. Biden hugged me and kissed me on the head. It was very nurturing, supportive action, said Miss Bilbray, now 49. Mr. Biden's been touchy-feely with men, too, and he's hardly the first politician to make waves for such displays. It's true. I looked at they have him sniffing this lady. She's 96. His nose is right in her hair. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's not sexual. I don't know. Maybe he has some proclivities I don't know about. Maybe he's on granny.org getting a nut off every night. I don't know, but he's hugged some ugly broads, too, and he kisses men on the cheek. I mean, he's touchy-feely. People who know Mr. Biden are virtually unanimous in their assessment of him as an inveterate hugger who has no ill intent, a very affectionate individual who is a natural toucher, which is what they said about Woody Allen. You know, kids, that's Susan Collins said that from Maine. You know who Susan Collins from Maine? She's got that shaky voice like Joe Kennedy. Fucking makes me sick. In a Twitter thread on Tuesday, I forgot to play the clip of Biden. Fellas, come on, get in my ear and go, Nick, what are you doing?
I figured you had a cue ready or something.
Did you? Well, you figured wrong, dummy. In a Twitter thread on Tuesday, Gene Carnahan, the former cemetery from Missouri, former cemetery? Former senator from Missouri described how caring Mr. Biden was after she arrived in the Senate, taking the seat of her husband, who had died weeks earlier in a plane crash. Biden also suffered the loss of his spouse shortly before he joined the Senate in 1973, but that's no excuse to spike my drink with roofies. I added that for emphasis. It was his empathy and encouragement more than all right, she liked him. Meghan McCain expressed similar sentiments, writing on Twitter, Joe Biden is one of the truly decent and compassionate men in all of American politics. Well, tell it to your fucking feminist friends. This is stuff mostly that he's done in front of everybody. David Axelrod said, who was a senior advisor to the worst president ever, Obama, while Mr. Biden was vice president. I'm sure his intent was benign, but through the lens of today, it looks like something different. That lens is covered with cum, ladies and gentlemen. Wipe it off, paranoid bitches. So I come to the conclusion that enough already, okay? And it really did. I looked at all the pictures and all the clips, and there's some really weird-looking people and men he's hugging, and, you know, he did lose his wife and daughter. You know, he's a fucking lonely fella. Diane Dinesh, 70, who served as lieutenant governor of New Mexico from 2003 to 2010, said she had exactly the same experience with Mr. Biden and had a completely different reaction to it. As they were getting ready to go on stage at a campaign event, Ms. Dinesh said, Mr. Biden just put his hands on my shoulders, leaned back and said, go get him, a little peck on the head. I paid so little attention to it, but I'm from a different generation than Lucy Flores, who's from the Cunty generation. On Tuesday, the Biden camp sent reporters quotations from about 24 women defending him. Here's a clip. Biden actually made a clip and put it on his Twitter today. Somebody said, you got to get out there and get ahead of this, Joe. And here's what he said himself.
Folks, in the coming month, I expect to be talking to you about a whole lot of issues, and I'll always be direct with you. But today I want to talk about gestures of support and encouragement that I've made to women and some men that have made them uncomfortable. And I always tried to be, in my career, I've always tried to make a human connection. That's my responsibility, I think. I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And
do what?
Whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I've tried to show I care about them and I'm listening. And over the years, knowing what I've been through, the things that I've faced, I've found that scores, if not hundreds of people have come up to me.
Prostitutes.
And reached out for solace and comfort, something, anything that may help them get through the tragedy they're going through. And so it's just who I am. And I've never thought of politics as cold and antiseptic. I've always thought it about connecting with people. Like I said, shaking hands, hands on the shoulder, a hug, encouragement.
A finger in the ass.
Now it's all about taking selfies together.
Grabbing
social
some titty.
norms have begun to change. They've shifted. And the boundaries of protecting personal space have been reset. And I get it.
Apparently not.
I hear what they're saying. I understand it. And I'll be much more mindful. That's my responsibility. My responsibility.
All right, I've had enough.
But I'll always believe.
All right.
That boy is a P.I.G. pig.
No, he is not. He's from a touchy-feely generation, and you women ought to get over yourselves. The hand on the thigh, all right. That might be a little much, but sniffing a lady's hair that's 68, that smells like old lady, might as well put your face in a diaper at that point. It's fucking gross. Anyways, it's not over, though. How about this? A super PAC that supports Trump has launched a new website, stopjoebiden.com, complete with an ad titled Creepy Joe Biden. You can't do this, folks. You guys, your super PAC supporting Trump, again, that Hollywood tape is out there, so this is meaningless. They cancel each other out. Anyways, an ad entitled Creepy Joe Biden and clips of the former vice president pawing women. Here is that video.
It happened also suddenly, very unexpectedly, out of nowhere. I feel Joe Biden put his hands on my shoulders, get up very close to me from behind, lean in, smell my hair, and then plant a slow kiss.
He's trying to make her more Chinese. That's wrong. That's racist.
To have the Vice President of the United States do that to me so unexpectedly and just kind of out of nowhere. It was just shocking. It was shocking because you don't.
Really? You have kids? Your kids? This is from the Republicans. This is from a Trump super PAC. Really? Your kids are glued to the TV watching what? MSNBC? What a fuck. They're doing. I thought this was from Dems because Dems are the ones who always bring children into it. Really? What are those kids, 6 years old, glued to the NBC nightly news? Fucking bullshit. Seriously, all they hear about is you can't get their faces out of video games and iPhones, but they're sitting down right at fucking 8 o'clock, to watch Rachel Maddow. You Republicans, this was very Demi-like. Go ahead.
Expect that kind of intimate
my arm.
behavior. You don't expect that kind of intimacy from someone so powerful and someone.
Okay, she's 4. This fucking kid is 4 years old. This is fucking is evil. This is what Democrats. Congratulations. You've come across to the dark side. How old is that little girl? Really? Look at she's going, I can't believe what Chris Matthews is saying on Hardball. This is so fucking silly. She's a baby.
Go ahead. Just have no relationship whatsoever to
watch this
touch
girl
you and to feel you and to be so close to you in that way.
That's me on every date. Oh, the Nelson brothers, when they were 3, were following the children are watching. They shouldn't be. What are you doing? Indoctrinate them like the fucking libs do? Ryan?
Mr. Raphael Wyke says, old Joey, 1 in the pink, 3 in the stink, Biden.
Oh, God. Hilarious if I was in a locker room in freshman year. Got anything better than that? Is that what my fans have to offer, really? I just spent 15 minutes actually defending him because some of this is really silly. And this super PAC ad, that Trump supporters put out is ridiculous. Little kids glued to the set. But the pink stink 3 thing, okay. I'll try it sometime. Anything else? Hardly worth interrupt. Go ahead.
Patrick Dorr says, and I hope I don't butcher this, Commendatori buongiorno, cocksuckers.
That's from Polly Walnuts when the Sopranos went to Italy. Cameo, folks. Cameo.com. Go to it if you'd like me to send a personal video message to one of your liberal friends that needs to be straightened the fuck out, or some super PAC people are fucking defending Trump, apparently. I can tell your next door neighbor to kiss your taint. You've probably done that by now. I can tell your ex that she's a syphilitic little piggy. I can tell your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend that he was just a jerk-off. Whatever you guys want. You go to Cameo.com, fill out the information, write the message you want me to deliver, and within 48 hours, it'll be delivered to whomever you want for a measly $60. It's kind of like a mini roast, or I can be nice and just say, happy birthday, Billy's thinking of you, even though he's got a girl on his lap. Any of that, 60 fucking bucks. Get in now because the rates are going up. People are telling me who are actually using it, going, you should be charging more. So who am I to argue? I'm an unapologetic capitalist. Our Father who art in... That's Joe's hand, by the way. See, he's not touching me. Let's get to the Democrats who took over the House and showing what children they really are. House Judiciary Committee on Wednesday authorized Chairman Jerry Fat-Faced Nadler to issue a subpoena for special counsel Robert Mueller's full report and all of the underlying evidence Mueller collected. The vote gives Nadler the discretion to issue a subpoena at any time to Attorney General William Barr, a move that likely would launch a legal confrontation between Congress and the Justice Department. Go ahead and do that, Mr. Nadler, because I'm sure that's what America needs right now. We want to relitigate this whole thing all over again. Don't worry about opioid crisis, the crisis at the border, which is fucking real. Don't infrastructure. Don't address any of that. Just keep busting Trump's balls. He's got to be sitting home laughing his ass off. Even Dems, the voters are like enough already. Rather, he said he intends to give Barr time to change his mind about redacting the report before submitting it to Congress. The authorization for subpoenas puts Congress on an aggressive footing while Barr reviews Mueller's report and redacts several categories of information, which he has every fucking... There he is! There is fucking Mr. Nadler back in the 80s. Look at that. What's he got, a helium hose in his asshole? Look at that parade float. This won the governor's trophy. The Macy's Day Parade back in 1988. It took 7,000 carnations just to make his nipples. Look at that tub of cheese. Fat fuck. Just a partisan hack. Barr has indicated he intends to redact classified information, which he has the right to. I love it. Nice going, fellas. He looks like that. You know what he looks like? Look at his body there. He looks like, do you remember I think you do. Do you remember Scarface when Richard Bells is performing at that Babylon club and this fucking puppet thing went up and danced before him? God, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. It's very funny. Anyways, he's going to redact, material relevant to the investigation, reputational information that could be harmful to peripheral third parties. Democrats have argued that Congress should have access to all of that information, even if it's blacked out, the blacked out version of the report Barr makes public. They note that Republicans received material in all 4 of these categories when they demanded documents from the Justice Department over the last 2 years. Really? I don't remember that. I remember Devin Nunes having to fucking stab people to get information out of you. Still don't know anything about Hillary's server and her emails either. So, I agree with you. They must have. You wouldn't say that. You're not that big a fucking liar. Barr said he's intent to provide a redacted version of the report to Congress by mid-April. Blah, blah, blah. He said Democrats are asking Barr to violate laws and regulations. This is a Republican, Doug Collins from Georgia. He says Democrats are asking Barr to violate laws and regulations to include unredacted information. My point is, when the Republicans tried to impeach, when they impeached Bill Clinton, and the Ken Starr report came out, Gerald Nadler, I hope we have the right order on this, fellas. Gerald Nadler, let's show him now. Are you with me, guys? Let's show him now talking about what should be allowed to be seen from the special counsel.
We're going to work with the Attorney General and for a short period of time, in the hope that he will reveal to us the entire Mueller report and all the underlying materials, and we'll go to court to get permission to have the 6E material.
6E material. That's the shit that Barr has a right not to show. Okay? That's him now. Here is him when Ken Starr was going to release the report when Bill Clinton was impeached.
Now, Mr. Starr, in his transmittal letter to the Speaker and the Minority Leader, made it clear that much of this material is Federal Rule 6E material, that is material that by law, unless contravened by vote of the House, must be kept secret.
Oh!
It's grand jury material. It represents statements which may or may not be true by various witnesses.
Yes.
Salacious material, all kinds of material that it would be unfair to release.
Exactly.
You're a wormy cocksucker, you know that?
Yeah. So he's arguing now that the E6 shit should be released. They should see the full report. Which shows he's just a partisan fucking hack and a liar. I'm sick of pointing it out. It looked like somebody let the air out of him on the recent video. Somebody pricked him. So now he wants the whole thing. Look at that tub of goo, huh? Have another bagel with a schmear, you ass. Look at that fucking neck. Adam Schiff would kill for that neck. Gerald Nadler. Tell me he didn't get fucking bullied. But don't you love that they archive this shit? And politicians forget. They get in the moment and they forget, oh yeah, I said just the opposite 30 years ago. Anyhow, so they're never going to be happy. Barr's going to release what he's constitutionally allowed to release, and the left is going to keep whining, and they'll do what they always do. We really know the truth regardless. Oh, shut it. Shut it. Let's lighten it up a little, please. We're not using the phones anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you picked up I thought you might have picked up on when I don't get out the number. We just no need of it. It's too expensive on my end. And, we could take it or leave it, and I left it. Don't worry, come see me live. I'll talk to you after the show. Hey, look at this. Let's lighten it up. Woman, 104, no, Biden didn't touch her ass, arrested at daycare home by police to fulfill bucket list. And Broken Brow, perfect name for an old lady. Broken Brow. Perfect. She changed it to Broken Spine. All these people over 90 have shaped like the letter C, like a jumbo shrimp. And Broken Brow, who has never fallen foul of the law, cheekily grinned as officers detained her inside a care home. This was on her bucket list to be arrested, and bundled her into a waiting police car.
Don't you move, you motherfucker. I'll blow your brains out.
I love this woman. She had revealed her desire to be arrested as a part of a charity scheme where residents write down what they want most at Stokely's care home in Bristol. She wrote, "My wish is to be arrested. I am 104 and I have never been on the wrong side of the law." Anne, who has dementia, you don't say, was put in handcuffs by a cop, Stephen Harding, and his colleague, Kelly Foyle, before being taken for a drive by the officers. What are they going to taken for a drive like she's a fucking St. Bernard who's 12 years old? They leave her in the woods. She said, "I had a lovely day. It was interesting. Nothing like that ever happened to me before. They put this is what made me laugh. They put the handcuffs on. I had the lot. I thought she said I had that a lot. I thought she might have been a dirty whore when she was younger. What did it feel like being a criminal? She said, well, it'll make me much more careful of what I say and do. She's talking like she's 22 now. But the police were very nice throughout, except the one they tased me and my wrinkled tits, and I went unconscious. Officer Kelly Foyle said, my colleague PC Stephen Harding arrested her. As far as I know, she's the oldest person he's arrested. She was smiling. She had a lovely time. This all started when she says, I received an email from the charity. I got the email and I thought, wow, what an amazing thing to wish for. She did come quietly. What do you think she was going to do? Fucking guns a-blazing? She pulls out. Wouldn't that be funny if it backfired? And she pulled out a knife and fucking stabbed one of the cops. You know what they should do? You know what they should do? This is what she should have thought this out more. She should have said she want to be arrested because it's on her bucket list, and they should have charged her with like murder, and then they could fucking give her the electric chair and just kill her because she's only got another few minutes. I thought that would have been terrific. It was our first time arresting anyone at a care home. She was surprised to see us. I don't think she could remember at first that she wanted to be arrested. But when she saw us and the handcuffs were coming out, she went along with it. She didn't resist or anything. I think we have audio of her.
You say you're a little tired this morning, is that right?
I am tired.
That sounds like me every morning.
There was one more thing on her bucket list.
What is it?
She missed out on.
What is it? Makes no fucking sense. Not relative to the. She wanted to see a midget?
She wanted to be a midget stripper.
Yeah. Doesn't. Nice try, Ryan. Strike three. You got caught looking on the outside corner.
It was his idea.
Jason.
It was a combined effort.
Yes, you guys. You both. Right down the middle. You swung and.
We suck equally.
It took two guys to be that unfunny.
No, I definitely suck more.
See, only way that's going to be funny is if you showed an old person on the pole. You know, I mean, that's too much of a leap there. Anybody who didn't watch the show yesterday go, what the fuck's it? Don't worry. It's too bad you guys are quitting in a couple weeks. I could really help you out. What do we got here? Oh, Chicago. Chicago. Terrific. Here you go. While celebrating her victory in becoming the first African-American gay woman picked to lead Chicago, Lori Lighten the Loafers Lightfoot thanked the city and those who blazed the trail for victory. She says, we may be strangers, but in this room, in this city, we are all neighbors. And then shots rang out. Yeah, great neighbors in Chicago. Shut up, Mrs. Lightfoot. Lightfoot faced a historic runoff Tuesday against Toni Preckwinkle, who's also a black broad. I mean, an African-American woman. With a name like Preckwinkle? What the fuck? Today you did more than make history. You created a bowel movement. No, you created a movement for change. She told her followers as they chanted, die, whitey, die. She says, we're going to remake Chicago home to 2.7 million people. Together we can, and we will finally put the interest, this is send a chill up your ass if you're white, of our people. But then she caught herself, all of our people, against the interests of the powerful few. Look, Jesus Christ, she looks like a young Jesse Jackson. Wanda Sykes, I think you should get on Tinder and hit this broad up. She looks like every point guard in the fucking WNBA. Now, again, I don't care what you guys think. I don't care if you think I'm sexist, racist, homophobic. I don't give a fuck. Gay people make up about 4% of the world's population. Black people in this country make up about 13%. Okay? You really think she sees life the way the majority of people, and I mean white people, see life? I know people right now, you flip and you lib fucking idiots because it's way too deep for you. Really? Does anybody have more of a beef with the world than a black gay woman? Seriously. Chicago, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking, honestly. You don't think... You think identity politics is bad now? And that's a result of identity politics. Chicago is just white people have been beaten down to a... How about this? I'll take it further. I don't even think she got elected. I really think life is just a play and there's a puppeteer just moving the chess pieces around. Nick, what are you saying? That gay black women don't see the world the way you do? It's exactly what I'm saying. They have a beef with everybody and anyone who is not like them. There, I said it. You won't hear that from Whoopi Goldberg. Congratulations, but it's going to do nothing for all our people, she says. Lightfoot, she's 56, a former assistant U.S. attorney and strong safety for the Eagles, describes herself as an out and proud black lesbian. Wow, there's 6 people who can relate to that. Out there tonight, a lot of little girls and boys are watching. Yeah, Republicans too, apparently, from that Super PAC ad. They're watching us. No, they're not. No, they're not, you fucking pompous ass. Little boys and girls are playing video games, trying to enjoy their life. And the ones in your city are ducking bullets. You think they're sitting in front of their goddamn TV? What is this? How do I explain to my kids when Donald Trump said he'd like to grab women's pussy? You don't. You walk in and you go, why are you watching the fucking news? You're going to be indoctrinated on college campuses in about 10 years, so go outside and play and don't get shot. Anybody with me? Out there tonight, a lot of little girls and boys, I just don't understand. They're seeing a city reborn. A city where it doesn't matter what color you are. What? Listen to these bumper sticker slogans. Just fucking knee-jerk, politically correct slogans pouring out of her fucking mouth. What else would you expect from a black gay woman? Just platitudes of horseshit. Meanwhile, they're killing each other left and right. Where it doesn't matter who you love, just as long as you love with all your heart. In the wake of the Laquan McDonald scandal, and by the way, the cop was wrong in this one, in my opinion, and I love cops, you know that. Lightfoot was appointed by who? Rahm Emanuel to head the newly created Police Accountability Task Force. So that was on him.
Son of a whore!
Yeah, Rahm Emanuel. Anyways, a new mayor with a plan for police reform and better police community relations will enhance the quality of life in the city and encourage people, blah, 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 especially young people who wish to start a family, move into the city, said some stupid professor from Loyola that I shouldn't have quoted. In 2016, the city reported its highest number of homicides in 2 decades, 762. But I'm sure a black lesbian will change all that. But killings have dropped since then, 650 in 2017. Ooh! Down to 550 in 2018. Congratulations. Police have credited the drop in violence to hiring more cops, which I'm sure she'll be against. Just politically correct platitudes, and it's got nothing to do with race and fucking gender. Don't say you're racist. I'm just saying. She's got a beef with the world. Ask Ryan. Ryan is gay and white, and he's got all kinds of problems.
I got beef with everyone.
He does. He's got a beef with everyone. Most of them in the Cub Scouts that wouldn't come to his house Friday night. What is going on in Chicago? Listen to this. Socialists surged to victories in Chicago City Council. A total of 4 Democratic socialists and possibly a 5th won races for aldermen either in February or in Tuesday's runoff election. What the fuck?
What the hell's going on out here?
2 members backed by the Democratic Socialists of America won in the first round in February. Carlos Ramirez Rosa, listen to all the Hispanic names, won re-election in the 35th ward. In the first ward, Danielle Espata defeated veteran alderman Proco Joe Moreno. When did Hispanics become socialists? 2 more Democratic socialists supported candidates won in the runoff. On Tuesday, Andre Vasquez beat Alderman Pat O'Connor out with the old white guy and with a Hispanic socialist who was Mayor Emanuel's floor leader. Finally, Byron Sigcho Lopez. Are you guys finding this odd? Won his runoff. You socialists? Look at Cuba. Won his runoff in the 25th ward. Incumbent Alderman Danny Solis, who has reportedly been cooperating with Fed investigators in the ongoing City Hall corruption probe, did not seek another term. Their wins mirror a trend nationally, most notably the election of Democratic Socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. The heartland, the city of big shoulders, the Windy City. Socialists are winning. I read shit like this, I get so goddamn sad. Why do you think they want the borders open? The fucking scumbag Democrat. Why? The future of the country is brown. All these people will pour in and they'll suck the ass of the Democrat Party because they're the ones who let them in. Doesn't matter how many people get killed, how many illegals do what, crime goes up. Doesn't matter. Socialists are winning at all levels in Chicago. You deserve what you get. I'm making a prediction right here. Your city's going to get so much worse in the next few years. But I can see why you'd want to go with far left people to run your city. Because look at Baltimore. Look at Detroit. Look at Los Angeles. Look at all the cities run by libs and what shitholes they are. But you stay on that track. I'm watching it unfold. They want this to be a third world shithole. I'm 57. I've been watching it since I was 18. They're well on their way. That won't stop me from coming to Chicago. I love that fucking city for comedy. My next special I think, will be in Chicago. Great comedy town. But by the time I get the next special out, there'll be, 11 white people and 78 Hispanic socialists in the front row booing me. Speaking of that, you want to come see me and sit in the front row? Friday, April 26th, I'll be at the Steel Stacks in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Friday and Saturday, May 3 and 4, Side Splitters at Tampa, Florida. Friday and Saturday, May 10th and 11th, the Governors in Levittown, Long Island, New York. Friday, May 31st, Jonathan's in Algonquin, Maine. Saturday, June 1, Whites of Westport, Mass. Saturday, August 10th, the Newtown Theater, Newtown, Pennsylvania. Friday and Saturday, August 16th and 17th, Helium Comedy Club in Philadelphia. Saturday, October 9th, which is wrong again. That is now Friday, right?
We didn't change it on the sheet?
No, you didn't, fellas, and it really doesn't surprise me. It's Friday, October 18th, the Ridgefield Playhouse, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Friday, November 15th, the Cortland Repertory Theater, Cortland, New York. And then New Year's Eve back at the beautiful Tarrytown Music Hall, Tarrytown, New York. I'll change this right now. Friday the 18th. Go to nickdip.com for ticket information. I hate to be going after the president, but I'm siding against him on a couple things today. I don't know how you can get this wrong. Another birth certificate controversy. You remember the left says that Trump was behind the whole birther thing, and that's why he's a racist and all that horse shit. I still don't know where Obama's from. Anyways, get this right. President Trump gets his father's country of birth wrong again. Donald Trump has said his father, Fred, was born in Germany.
But it's all lies.
Despite the fact he was actually born in New York City. How do you get that wrong? It seems like a minor thing, but I have to follow this story. How would you not know where your dad was born? Why are you in a tank top? Put the camera on yourself. What the fuck? Yeah, look at those pipe cleaners. What are you doing?
Sweating balls.
You are the definition of a twink, man. I hope this gay fella's watching. They'll be getting a nut off right now. Look at even Marv Albert next to you is embarrassed. It's not the first time. Listen to this. This is Trump. My father's from Germany, right? Was German. He's saying right, like he's asking the press. Was German. Born in a very wonderful place in Germany called Dachau. No. So I have a great feeling for Germany. It's not the first time he's got it wrong, they say. In July 2018, talking to CBS News about the European Union, he said, don't forget, both my parents were born in the EU sectors, okay? I mean, my mother was Scotland. My father was Germany. No, Hitler was Germany. So his father, he doesn't know where his father was born. Mr. Trump's grandparents on his father's side were indeed born in Germany before moving to the United States, but Fred Trump, we called him Frump, was born in New York City. U.S. website The Smoking Gun last year published a photo it said was of Fred Trump's birth certificate, which lists his place of birth at 539 East 177th Street on October 11th, 1905. And Trump said,
I don't know nothing about that.
Ryan, where was your dad born?
Yonkers, New York.
Are you sure it wasn't Germany?
I'm almost positive.
Jason, where was your dad born?
Somewhere in Jersey.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to say Germany.
It may have been Brooklyn, actually.
Okay, but we know it wasn't Germany, even with a name
It
like...
wasn't Germany.
You're German, right, with that name?
Yes.
How do you say your last name? Birkelbach?
Birkelbach.
Birkelbach. Jason Birkelbach. Clink, you are an idiot. I don't know, Mr. Birkelbach. General Birkelbach, I have nothing to do with it. It's Hogan. Clink, you are an idiot. That was Burkhalter. Hogan's Heroes is one of the funniest goddamn shows ever. Can you imagine today Hollywood trying to make a comedy about fucking Germany in a prison of war? It would have to be all black actresses and lesbian actresses, so we're not interested. Chick-fil-A, I'm so sick of here's where I believe there's a gay agenda run by 6 gay guys on the planet. I don't. Chick-fil-A banned from Buffalo Airport for anti-LGBTQ rhetoric, which is such bullshit. After hospitality management, Delaware North and Niagara Frontier Transportation Authority, that's known as NFTA, approved of plans to incorporate Chick-fil-A into its airport renovations plans. Democrat, naturally, Assemblyman Sean Ryan called upon the authority Friday to reverse its decision. We've been through this 1,000 fucking times. By the end of the day, Ryan said the privately held family restaurant business was banned from the airport project. Well, congratulations, you fucking fascist left-wing jackoff. When Ryan heard of NFTA's decision to include Chick-fil-A in its plans, the Democrat took to Twitter to say he was disappointed by the plan. Chick-fil-A has a long history of supporting and funding anti-LGBTQ organizations, Ryan said, which is a fucking crock of shit.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
In fact, the San Antonio City Council recently rejected a plan to open a Chick-fil-A at the San Antonio International Airport due to the company's discriminatory advocacy. So, because I have no mind of my own, let's do what San Antonio does, and let's not look into it. The Assemblyman touted New York's ban on state-funded travel to North Carolina, saying, okay, now he's talking about North Carolina, saying the state engaged in transgender discrimination when it voted to protect the privacy and safety of its citizens by continuing single-sex bathrooms and other legal and civic distinctions between biological males and females. Yeah, that's because that's the fucking truth of it, you idiot.
Who the fuck said that?
Sean Ryan.
Who's the slimy little communist shit twinkle-toed cocksucker down here who just signed his own death warrant?
Anyways, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced Thursday he plans to investigate whether the San Antonio City Council violated the First Amendment when it banned the restaurant from its airport because of its owner's Christian values. Robert Trevino's San Antonio District 1 City Council moved to ban Chick-fil-A from its list of airport vendors. However, Texas Republican Chip Roy tweeted a letter he sent to the San Antonio City Council, which he reacted to Trevino's comments. And I agree with this. He says, targeting individuals, organizations, or corporations for carrying out their deeply held religious beliefs in accord with our laws and consistent with many Americans' similarly held religious beliefs is hardly making San Antonio a champion of equality and inclusion. I couldn't have said that better.
Correct there.
The people that founded Chick-fil-A are real Christian people, okay? They believe in all that stuff. And they don't believe in gay marriage. And years ago, they actually contributed to a foundation that's against gay, whatever. What happened to it's a corporation? It's a private corporation. By the way, they have over 140,000 employees, straight, gay, black, white, Indian, with hair lips, people in wheelchairs. They have donated to all kinds of charities. They do nothing but good fucking work. But once again, we live under this malaise of, I'm a gay victim, whatever. Meanwhile, the kids on college campuses. This Rider College, they voted, they had a choice. They picked Chick-fil-A, because it's a great food, to be on their campus. But no, the administration up there they overrid that. Fuck what the kids want. I mean, give me a fucking break. Yeah, I went into a Chick-fil-A once and I saw one of the managers beating up a guy in a dress. I couldn't even finish my chicken wings. It's a great company. And by the way, it's, it's popular because people get treated right there. They've never turned away a gay person in their life. They have gay people probably working there. So what more do they have to do? Fucking Chick-fil-A was slated to become, one of San Antonio's airport vendors. The restaurant is now on track to become the third largest fast food chain in the United States, catching up to publicly traded competitors such as McDonald's and Wendy's.
Go in the fucking kitchen and give me my big piece of chicken!
Here's a spokesman from Chick-fil-A. While some have questioned the motives behind our donations, this is actually from, it's on their website. A company continues to uphold the biblical principles that guided the founding of its business by S. Truett Cathy. While some question the motives behind our donations, we want to take a moment to reiterate the mission and focus of the Chick-fil-A Foundation, which has always will be to donate to programs that support a diverse array of youth and educational programs nationwide. The 140,000 people who serve customers on a daily basis represent and embrace all people regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender. But that's not enough. That's not enough, because they donated a few dollars about 20 years ago. Unfucking believable. This is what people hate. This is how Trump got elected, because you jerk-offs keep imposing your worldview on people. You don't want to have a rational discussion. Even when things are wrong and made right, you won't acknowledge it, whether it's fucking slavery or Chick-fil-A donating money. They have every right to run the company the way they want. Oh, my fucking word. According to the restaurant's website, in 2018, Chick-fil-A was recognized for customer experience in the Temkin Experience ratings. It was named Best Franchise Brand by Airport Revenue News. But you wouldn't want that at your fucking shitty airport in Buffalo, where I can get a BLT made of goat nuts. Give me a fucking break. Also in 2018, Chick-fil-A was presented with the Glassdoor Employees' Choice Award when they threw two gay guys through a glass door. No, that's not. What the? No. Glassdoor Employees' Choice Award for being among the top 100 best places to work. Yeah, they sound like a real threat. Additionally, Chick-fil-A was included in Glassdoor's top 100 CEOs. The restaurant was included as well in 2018 Forbes list of best employers and as a National Society of High School Scholars top employer. So they're hiring kids out of high school. Everybody seems to love them, but a couple of fucking pissed off Democrats from New York. Do you politicize everything? I'd like to stick a fucking chicken leg up your ass. Anyways, Ryan, anything? I look over there. You look like a point guard from a gay school.
Sean Ryan shames the name of Ryans everywhere. And I have super chats.
Go ahead, give me the super chat.
Anderson Fast Hands says, I honestly hope they don't talk about Biden's touching during the election. It hurt Trump more than help him. Instead, the CIA should just take him out.
I don't know what any of that means. It didn't hurt Trump at all, actually. It's completely wrong. When they did such a transparent thing is to try to take him down with a videotape that NBC had sitting on a shelf for 5 years, so it was all timed. You know what that did? It fueled a lot of people like me to go, fuck them. People on the fence. But you're welcome to your opinion. Go ahead.
Chanel Julio says, didn't I see Nadler in a stomach stapling infomercial?
Doesn't he look like, now that he's lost 300 pounds, he looks like when you let the air out of a tire. That's like Al Roca. Looks like a fucking deflated wetsuit when he lost all that weight.
Terry Christofalski says, Nick, you rock. All you brothers donate to the truth.
Amen. Donate, please. Please donate. Please. And go to cameo.com. I'll fucking eviscerate anybody you want me to eviscerate. Or I'll say hi to your sister who's got the nice ass like a Georgia peach. But again, the lazy eye is keeping her from having fun. Anything else?
Anderson Fasthands says, fuck this planet, mate.
Mate? That's Australia, I'm guessing. Yeah, I feel that way too. Anderson, was it? Yeah, yes. I'm glad I'm 57. I got to be honest with you. After reading the results of those elections in Chicago and all these socialist Democrats winning, I mean, you are watching the greatest society in the history of this planet commit fucking suicide. It's really gross. Luckily, 57, I'm smoking like a fiend. I'll be out of here soon. Every time I light up a cigarette, I go, this could kill you. And I go, wait a minute, I want to die soon. Anything else there, cutie?
Mark Howard donated and didn't say anything, but hi, Mark Howard.
Hi, Mark Howard, and I love that. Who doesn't want... I love those transactions. Here's some money. I don't even want to talk to you. That's sort of what I do when I used to get prostitutes. You pay them to shut up. I mean, male ones. I wouldn't. The girls are dirty. Go ahead.
Anderson Fasthands paid us in Swedish crowns, so I guess he's from Sweden.
More Crohn's, huh? I've got so many Crohn contributions. I have Crohn's disease. That's when I have to shit my pants every 3 minutes. And finally tonight, one thing related to the Chick-fil-A story. Dean resigns over New Jersey University's choice to ban Chick-fil-A on campus. This was back in March. Okay, following Rider University's decision to block Chick-fil-A from coming to campus, a dean is stepping down from her position. The school's decision words about the restaurant's values clash with her beliefs as a Christian woman. Since Cynthia Newman, dean of the College of Business Administration, explained in a February 14th letter to faculty she's resigning from her role as dean. Chick-fil-A, listen, corporate values have stirred controversy. Oh, they stirred controversy in 2012, 7 years ago, when its president spoke against same-sex marriage, which the president, that fucking guy who owns a business, has every right to. And news reports revealed the company donated to organizations opposed to same-sex marriages. Gee, I wonder if there's any fast food places run by people who donated to Planned Parenthood. Because you know what? I'm not fucking eating there anymore. Is that how we're going to play this game? You fascist fucks. I enjoy a good Chick-fil-A sandwich. I don't care if they dislike fags. I have had the chicken tenders. Anyways, you get it. She resigned because she's a Christian woman, and they wouldn't have Chick-fil-A on her campus. Good for you. She's putting her money where her chick-eating mouth is. I didn't get to this yesterday. What is going on at Dodger Stadium? After Rafael Reina, I've done 19 stories today. I haven't mentioned one, Joe Johnson or Tom Wilson. It's a country that's not working anymore. After Rafael Reina viciously attacked in Dodger Stadium parking lot, fans called for better security. Police are still looking for a man who attacked 45-year-old Rafael Reina in the Dodger Stadium parking lot, leaving him on life support with a fractured skull. The suspect reportedly confronted Reina as he walked to his car after Friday night's extra inning game against the Diamondbacks. See, Arizona, Los Angeles, you know. Reina was on the phone with his wife, Crystal, when the attack happened. She told the station in an emotional interview that she could hear someone yelling at her husband and then heard a loud thump. She remained on the phone as strangers tended to her husband. The father of four was taken to County USC Medical Center, where he was placed on fucking life support, okay? Of course, everybody's blaming security at Dodger Stadium. Why don't you blame the fact that you live in a city that welcomes criminals, a sanctuary city? You live in a city that for the last 20 years' main goal is to import everybody from all over the fucking world. You have nothing in common. You're at Dodger Stadium. You don't speak the same languages. You don't like the same music. And it's not just L.A. This is going to be true of this country everywhere. But that's really to blame. Okay? If you say learn English and accept our cultures, that's racist. This is what you got. You have nothing in common with the people you're sitting next to. Everybody hates everybody, and it's not fucking working. And this is not the first time somebody could beat within an inch of their lives at Dodger Stadium. But don't blame security. You really think you can increase security so they're everywhere? And this is not going to fucking happen? It's just, I don't blame her because she's distraught. Her husband's about to die. She says, I shouldn't have to be dealing with this. Whoever did this to him is out there having his life. My husband's fighting for his, which is all true. Police believe the suspect, who police believe is in his 20s, drove off in a white SUV, possibly a Toyota 4Runner. Of course, they won't mention race, even though the guy was Hispanic that got beat up. Now Dodgers fans are wondering what the team is doing to make sure they're safe, especially... Yeah, that's your first instinct? Why don't you ask yourself stuff a little deeper? That why does this keep happening, Dodger Stadium? What's wrong with society? Not with fucking security. It's a bigger question. I just feel sorry for him and his family. They need to do something better for security for reasons for people who come out to watch the game. Manuel Cruz said. Crystal Rain is also left with many unanswered questions. We're a huge Dodger fan family, and this is how they treat their fans. Don't blame them. All due respect, Miss Raina. I know you're distraught, and you should be. Don't blame them. Blame the scumbag who did it. The LAPD says security has not been increased at the ballpark since the attack. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure they have a budget too. Anyhow, if you guys remember this, it's becoming one of the most dangerous places. This guy wrote an article with the experience he had. I'll read it real quick to end the show. Opening day 2011. Do you remember Brian Stowe, San Francisco Giant fan, brutally beaten in the parking lot by two Dodger fans? You know, colors, gangs, got the wrong hat on. Real deep thinking. Stowe, a paramedic and father of two, sustained severe injuries to his brain and skull, and he was placed into a medically induced coma following the incident. This apparently is what's going on in fucking Dodger Stadium.
Hey, they beating up every white person.
Claiming that cutbacks in stadium security led to the attack, the Stowe family filed a lawsuit against the Dodgers and former owner Frank McCoy. Just last week, a minor fender bender in the Dodger Stadium parking lot led to the beating of a driver and the arrest of 4 people. So, do you really think it's a security problem, or that you're just fucking amongst a bunch of animals, a bunch of angry people who don't like each other because you have nothing in common? Not just L.A., but especially LA right now. But, you know, have your sanctuary city. Invite more criminals in. He said, that this guy wrote the article, my most terrifying moment at a sporting event took place at Dodger Stadium in May of 2005. I got tickets for the entire family. We made the trek from Anaheim to Chavez Ravine. As the game continued and the Angels built a larger lead, the animosity between the two sets of fans grew. Friendly banter gradually turned into contentious attacks. About 50 feet away, I saw an Angels fan shove a Dodgers fan, followed by the Dodgers fan punching the Angels fan in the face, throwing him down 3 rows of seats. More and more fights broke out, and it got to the point where we no longer felt safe. My dad said it was time we head home. While exiting the ballpark, we saw a brawl take place in front of one of the concession stands where a crowd of people were. This is third world behavior. And L.A., make no mistake about it, is a third world shithole now. Just look at the tents along in Anaheim. Look at all the homeless shit in L.A. It's disgusting, but it's run by libs. As I exited the gates, a man grabbed my arm, pointed to my Angel shirt and hat, and said, I'd take that off if I were you. I stuffed the hat under my shirt and put my neutral-colored sweatshirt on. That's what it's come to. I've been to countless games at several venues around the country, including AT&T Park, Angel Stadium, Wrigley Field, Yankee Stadium. Not once did I feel unsafe. Following the Brian Stowe beating, the Dodgers made a concerted effort to increase security at the stadium. In fact, their efforts may have helped the most recent incident from getting worse. But can increase, he asked the question that I do, but can increased security stop another violent attack from happening? What is the cause of this? Is it something specific about the fan base? Is it the sale of alcohol? Yes and yes on both those. Yes and yes on both those. And I just told you why. Multiculturalism, get a few beers in you and shit. Now you're wearing a red hat. He's got a blue one on. It's primitive fucking behavior. And again, Sanctuary City, invite more people who are undereducated, poor, and get angry when their team loses. Anyways, that is it, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget Cameo.com. Go to nickdip.com to check out my tour dates. And remember, you guys, you think it, I will say it, and be reduced to a show in my basement. See you tomorrow.